morning, everyone. Welcome to Embody Your True Essence with me, Ikue. It's Tuesday. It's August 20th. Yes, August 20th. It's a step 28 day. How you guys feeling? Where you guys are tuning from? It's August 20th. That's crazy. In 10 days, it's gonna be September. I just realized that it's slightly raining in Vancouver. It's cloudy. I like checking the weather every day. And yeah, it's a little chilly, but it's good. It's still good. My spirit is good. I mean, I say this every morning. Lots of stuff is moving. How you all doing? I have this one for a while, and this one was made by Zizella, who's basically the energetic conductor for Human Garage. And I got to meet her in Vancouver, and it's like, okay, I gotta work with her more. So very excited. This one has one side Omega, you can see, and Alpha, and this one itself has a Taurus field, so it goes like this, right? But right now Alpha is up. It goes like this, go and suck in and take in all that, helping me ground. So that's a good one. If I flip it, the energy goes like this. So how you can work with one, for example, if you have tightness, I'm working on my hips, so I will put like the Alpha up, so that no, actually I will put the Omega up, so that one goes the energy and let out all the toxin that I don't need. And once I feel it's ready, then I can flip it, and then I can let all the good energies in. So I am working with my one as I'm speaking. Lots of stuff is happening, like how I see right now with Fascia and my belief system. We all have invisible cage, right? Invisible matrix, like what is okay for me and how I live my life, and all the patterns stored in this cage and in matrix. But people say escape the matrix, but it's not about that. It's really about you realize that you create your own matrix. So, and I think as you unwind your patterns, your matrix, there's a point where you have your limited belief, right? And as inspiration comes, stimuli, your clue, your trigger comes in and hit the layers of fascia, and then it causes sensation. And I think there's a buffer time as the energy goes through the layers of fascia. You get to assess what's going on in you, right? So as you assess what's going inside of us, and then you can flip the narrative, buffer time between the trigger and your response. And so this is where the power is. Can you make some change? So as me make some change, we kind of just like, good, Grand Rising, hi Amani, Grand Rising, good to see you. So in the buffer time, you realize, why am I holding this pattern? Does this serve me? Then, okay, I'm going to make a change. Now I make a change, and that's when matrix crumbles. It's like, oh, I thought it's like, we think all these things that we see exist, but it doesn't exist. We're creating. So as soon as you realize that we are the conductor, anyone that says something or anything that comes up, it's like, no, this is not how I live my life. It's like a paradigm shift. It's like, and then things to adjust and change. I think I'm going through that. I mean, we all go through that every day, but I started to really understand what the problem was. So throughout this class is a speaking meditation. Feel free to ask me questions if you want to go online. I am here if you ask me questions. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ikue. My name sounds like eco-friendly. I'm friendly. Eco way, and it's a Japanese name. And I teach people how to move as a dancer, dance instructor, and now I'm a fascial maneuvers coach. I teach people how to move fascia, restores tension and trauma, And as we unwind and move our fascia, all of things coming up to get released. And we are reprogramming our fascia, because the fascia has, it's basically matrix. It's a complex structure. It's a big giant spider web inside of our body, but also in us it's you know, all the patterns are stored, and we have a power to change it. So how do we start? So today is step 28. I normally read a message from Seer's Joy and explore my ideas together. Where did you get your wand? Yes, I became a wand one supporter. So this woman from Argentina, I think she now lives in USA. Her name is Gisela, and if you guys are interested, I can send you her Instagram, and then her Instagram has the website. And Gisela, did I type it right? Sorry if I know. Just Gisela. Just message me. I'll send you. And then she's like the energetic conductor for Human Garage, and Gary has been working with her for a very, very long time. And I gifted myself this one probably about 2 or 3 years ago, when Human Garage was fine and the wand, and each core members has it, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna gift myself. And yeah, so since then, this wand is working with me. And so one side has an omega and one side has an alpha. So this crystal itself, and in fact, all of her crystals have a Taurus field already. So when the alpha is up, it goes like this, it's sucking the energy. So this is like the laws of attraction. It helped me ground, but somehow Human Garage like to flip it. The alpha is up. So when the alpha is up, it's sucking the energy like this. So if you have a pain in your body, if you go like this, so for example, now omega is up. So work with the energy works wonderful. It's sucking all the bad energy out. Now going like this. And once you let all this energy out, you can flip it over. And now that alpha is this way. So the energy goes like this. So you let in all the good energy. And because I have been working with the Human Garage, they like to put omega up. They like to go high up right here. And I met Gisela in Vancouver, and then every time we see her, so funny. She gave me tons of messages, but she's like, ground yourself. Because I'm always high up, and this is my natural state, you know, and I often forget my lower chakras to ground myself. So I am embodying that right now. So I started to work with this one, making this one, the alpha is up. So I'm reminding myself, and I definitely feel when the alpha is up, because my attention is more lower chakra, grounding myself, because I've been practicing here. It's always how I high up. So it's ground myself, calm myself. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, you know, like one chooses you, right? And you chooses the one. It's a mutual connection. And all of her crystals that she creates have this Taurus field. So you never have to charge this one. You never have to charge her crystal. So yeah, message me. I'm like, I'm literally helping her business. That's all. That's awesome. I loved seeing you all live in Vancouver this past weekend. Thank you, Denise. My question is there a Human Garage on Vancouver Island? Yeah, we have a couple people from Island, like Cass. I think she lives on the island. Just message me so I can send her Instagram. She's going through season 2. But there are a couple of people who practice fashion maneuvers. Yeah, you guys should something. Yeah, meet up, or, you know, like connect. Because, you know, Vancouver can be a little bit far if you live on the island, right? Yeah. But I would love to start doing more Zoom classes. What I want to get into is definitely more coaching and online coaching and in person. I love teaching. I love moving. So, yeah. Okay, so let's read that energy of the day we just had full moon in Aquarius, and it was, for me, it was about detaching myself from old stories. So if things like that came up for you, um, I felt like, we all have, we need this here, love to be taught. Yes, yes. So we all have patterns. And once we realize, once we got aware of those patterns, then we can make a change. So for me, the huge things that came up was, I am no longer responsible for people's emotion, the because of the program that I got through our parents. Those are the huge ones, right? So, and I feel like because of the programming that I have, I've been sort of like judging myself for every direction, every decision that I make. And one day I realized that I don't want to do this to myself. And I am no longer responsible for anybody's emotion, anybody's programming. I am my own person. So the first thing I started to do was, I'm no longer responsible for people's emotions. And also my hips are no longer responsible for people's emotions. This is where I tend to carry all of this, like shame, especially shame, anger, resentment. Those are the huge things that are coming up for me. So I am learning to release that. I'm releasing right now with the one. And so those are the huge things. Now today is, I love step 28. I love luxury. Sunny and calmic. So today 10 is about Taurus energy. I manifest. And this is a very sensitive day, actually. It's a powerful day to manifest, but it's very sensitive day. And I'm just going to read it why. Manifestation and abundance is the ruling energy of the day. If you love and shelter the pressure things you are intending to manifest, you will slowly feel the energy of your project come together. So you got to protect. You may even see sign of new sprouts. If you feel vulnerable or less than today, you may need to create better boundaries to protect your creation. Boundaries are created through either the use of space or time. The moon will shift from light and airy Pisces to strong and grounding Aries this evening. You may feel tested on anything you learned in the Leo season. So, we've been working through in this Leo season, and then when the Virgo season comes, there's another lesson coming. But throughout this Leo season, from 0 to 29, today is a 28th day, so 28th day, so tomorrow is the last day. We're learning to love yourself. That's the Leo season, coming back to your heart and connecting with the heart, and protect our boundary. Do I love this? Do I love this idea? What do I feel about this idea and believe? And then what do I think about this? And am I ready to receive? And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna make decisions about this, and then goes to take action on it. And then now here comes the manifestation. And when you manifest something, is there a thing that is like, what's happening is so yummy, and then there's part of you that is like, okay, I don't wanna break this pattern. Like, I love what I'm seeing, what I'm getting. It's like more of this, please. But at the same time, there's nervousness and excitement coming up so bad that you feel vulnerable. Don't anybody ruin this mood ever. So there's a moment of self-doubt. It's like, am I seeing this correctly? Or how long does this last, right? All those things will come, but let's set the intention. We have this powerful moon in Aquarius. We detach that part of ourselves to self-doubt. Like, no longer, I do not wish to think this way. This is me. I'm showing up, and this is me building, and this is the frequency I would like to live in, right? So if you have a moment of that little bit of weak spot is hitting you, continue to show compassion and love towards a part of yourself, because thank you for showing me to be more compassionate, right? So it's the practice at the end. I realized that I thought I had car anxiety, and one day I realized that it's not about that I have fear. I have fear because I haven't practiced much. And I've been practicing to fear about this action, driving. I just needed to practice more, keep pushing, so that I feel calmer in every action I take, even like speaking in public. I used to be very scared of it, and I just one day realized that I'm just gonna practice. So thank you guys for being here. Good morning. Okay, so another message. Today is the final day of redirecting your heart towards a greater life of love and joy. The ruling state of awareness is Net 10 I manifest. This energy, responsible for creating and manifesting ideas into solid form, is actually sensitive and delicate. So I talk about the sensibility, vulnerability of manifestation. You may wake up feeling vulnerable, fragile, or as if things could fall apart. The truth is actually the opposite. What you're feeling today is your heart and inner self coming together. Today, all of your intention for a life of higher love, joy, and creativity are coming together into solid form. Your job is to maintain the emotional tone of the joy you expect in the future. Emotional tone. Feeling is important. Feeling is powerful. Focus on visualizing your goals while feeling the future you want to live now in the present moment. Hold a vision and loving feeling for the goal you intend to manifest as long as possible. Step 28 adds to Net 10, which is composed of two other additional states of awareness to focus upon. The first is amplify the love vibration. That's the one means, because it's a 1 and 0. Hi Michelle, happy camper. And by focusing on love. The second is to protect and shelter this feeling. Step 0. So love and protect. Love and protect. Love and protect. Holding that combined feeling of love and protection is necessary to manifest your intention. Whatever people say, it's just like I was like yesterday. Polly said that told many times, I am not responsible for people's emotions. I am not responsible. I am no longer responsible for people's emotion. Also, what I said to myself was, I no longer associate myself with someone else's shadow. And it's not to discriminate, like, shadow, we are about mixture of light and darkness. They can stay here, but I stop engaging that part of myself that will relate to that. So it's just about, like, this is where you put yourself a strong boundaries. I no longer want to hold this association association with a toxic part of ourselves and toxic part of others. And I choose joy and happiness. And that's when you set that strong foundation and a new pattern and new boundaries for yourself. And now the matrix that we see is like, okay, that's how you're gonna live your life. And it's like, we think that this is solid, but as soon as we set the intention, what happens to our matrix, our illusion, it's kind of like a switch. So that's what I'm aiming for today. So, final step of manifestation can sometimes be the most challenging. Yeah, final step. Today is the final step because it's in these last hours of creation that individuals sometimes think about giving up. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a part of us that it feels uncomfortable. Like, are we really doing this, right? The kind of nervous, passionate, exciting energy. So you may feel tired, worn out, or become impatient with the process. Realize these are always the last moments of creating change. When you begin to feel these challenges, realize that you are actually on the brink of success. Yeah, let's just really trust that. It's not a good idea to share your intention with other people today. Everyone is feeling challenged or tested, and other people may project their fears onto you. This can weaken your position. In each of your stories today, love and protect the loving emotional tone you intend to manifest in your life. Today, you identify and commit to what it feels like to be positively connected to your public world and audience. Try to generate and memorize this positive feeling. Yeah, remember the feeling, memorize this positive feeling for the public. This will be the feeling that guides your public efforts going forward. You're committing to a long-term emotional tone of your character and image. This is the tone that attracts others. What's the feeling you want to give off to others? Commit that feeling to memory. So the tone that will attract others, my tone that I want to hold, like it, especially in this Instagram live, is just accepting all parts of myself and don't suppress it. Don't suppress any of the emotion. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that I have fear, but I don't engage it, and I trust the process and believe in the power of speaking up, believing in the power of consistency, and power of repetition. Yes. Today's goal is to commit to the feeling of the future, hold a tone of love and joy that will attract the goal. One way to multiply your potency and the speed of your intention to count your blessings today. Be mindful for all the aspects of life you're grateful for. Observe where you are already abundantly supported by the universe. By adding up all your successes, you lean towards the probability of another one. Yeah, I like that. So count your blessing, right? Observe where you are already abundantly supported by the universe. And by adding up all your successes, you lean towards the probability of another one, another more abundance. So abundant joy, I feel the tone of my future joy today. I had this moment that somebody gave me a compliment, and there's part of me that happy, thank you for acknowledging that, but I'm also too good to be true to accept that part of myself. And I stopped myself. It's like, why am I thinking this way? Why am I not fully accepting that acknowledgement? So there's part of us that we minimize our blessing, our talent and superpower. And so it's all in us, right? It's all about accepting and the radical self-acceptance. I may have this part of myself, but I'm choose to love and accept myself. I had a magical week, and when I was able to stand and ground myself in Lions Bay, a bucket list location, I heard my heart whisper in my ear, see what happens when you listen to me over the mind. Wow, that's powerful, Michelle. See what happens when you listen to me over the mind. Yeah, heart, mind, and spirit, and emotions. So many things to consider. It's like when the idea comes up, and is this from my heart? Is this from my mind? But I'm also, we need to acknowledge the effort of our mind too. Our mind is always trying to protect us, and our mind is always trying to guide us and try to protect us, right? And maybe we were in a protective mode in a good way, protecting the boundary. Maybe our mind is like really working hard to protect the new boundaries for ourselves. Like for me, it's like, again, I am no longer responsible for anybody else's emotion, especially the programming, the parents. Like I forgive my mother, I forgive my father. That's a huge part because of those patterns. Maybe I have the shame in one part of myself. So those things are coming up for me. It's like we all have love and hate relationship towards our parents, and but also they're the one that took care of us, or may not taken may not taking care of us, right? In some aspect of our life. But at the end of it, I just know they did their best. That's what I know. That's what I know. They really did their best. So who am I to judge? And also considering what I probably had to go through in my past life. Like I had to go through that childhood, relive that intensity and less intensity of that pattern that I already have. So thank you. Thank you for the lesson. And we are creating a new story for ourselves. So mind, heart. Mind is always the heart is the boss. Heart is the boss. What do I want? What do I want? And let the mind figure out, right? Instead of mind giving us feedback, but it's like, okay, this is what's gonna happen in mind. It's a circulation where radically we have the birthright to be successful, be abundant, be joyful, and be loved, and all kinds of good stuff. But we limit ourselves in our invisible cage. It's like somehow we're not worthy or we're not enough. But that's the pattern we all unwinding, right? Nobody is stopping us from getting what we want, and somehow we put ourselves in those cages so that somehow we feel comfortable. But just because we are comfortable doesn't mean that those things are good for us anymore. So let's just have some courage in going into the area, tapping into the unknown. I say this: the uncomfortable is the new normal, and we are moving towards September, October, and you know things gonna get really really tough, and we're gonna be tested, we're gonna be challenged. But can we just embody that being uncomfortable is a new normal, and there's nothing wrong. And it's good news that just because you're uncomfortable, you can still feel safe. So separate these two feelings that will really help us navigate. I am feeling uncomfortable, but I am safe. We tell ourselves, I am safe. So let's tap into that energy. Okay, let's do 6 breath after I read that card. So this is a beautiful card from Shine by Brittany Carmichael. And I tapped 28 times today because that's the energy of today. And this is the card I picked. Celebrate yourself. You deserve it. I am going to, this one is a yay. Very hard to read. It's the opposite. So, yay, you're amazing. So take a moment to celebrate yourself. It's almost become normal to punish ourselves while we are in pursuit of our goals with negative thoughts like I'm not there yet or it's not perfect. We need to flip the script on those self-defeating thoughts and learn to celebrate the small stuff. If you pull this card, it's time to celebrate how far you've come in this exact moment. You're doing an awesome job at life, even if you don't feel like it. Stop waiting for the major monthly holidays and learn to celebrate yourself daily. The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. Opposite. When was the last time you celebrate yourself? Been a while? Do something today that honors you and all your amazingness. Celebrate yourself doesn't always have to be extravagant. You can keep it simple and dress up, buy some flowers, write yourself a love note, take a nap, or treat yourself to a fancy dinner. You deserve it. Celebrate myself today and every day because I deserve it. My partner thinks that I'm obsessed with Human Garage and obsessed with my business, and I'm always on my phone. And I think that's true. I'm not perfect. I'm finding the balance of between my between my business, between my passion, and between my life, and between the time with my partner. And yeah, so that's my partner. And especially if you start something new, there's always a resistance from a close relationship because you were doing something different, right? So that's my partner. That's so funny. Yeah, I know the feeling. Maybe people who are watching, it's a new territory, right? And you are so passionate, you're doing this at the same time. You do have that moment of like, why am I doing this so passionately? But at the same time, and then maybe because of that feeling you have, you've been projected, that the outside feeling, the project, like the close friendship is showing me, and what I'm holding on to. We love the journey, and you're right about the balance. Yeah. So, but then part of us wants to keep going. Maybe we're obsessed, right? But I'm also, we want our partners to, you know, come to our path. Like, let's do this together. But then we are on our own people, and they were on their own person, like the people. And this is where we learn to surrender, I think. We're all learning, and they were all learning too, right? And but what I got the guidance, the message from the other day, Akashic record reading. I asked this specific question. It's like, how can I find a balance between my human garage, my passion, energy, footwork, and my personal life, and I said, the message I got was, I know how to do it because I know how to dance. I know how to flow like water. Some days you're more focused on the job. Some days you take time for your personal. Some days you take time for partner. It's about the balance, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So right now, maybe some days, or maybe especially when you're starting up something, maybe you obsess. Yeah, I had to tell them I am doing something new and it will cause some discomfort. So we will need to practice new ways of communication. It takes about 6 months to get a new normal. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, discomfort for sure. It feeling like, when you start something and the person who are used to and close to you think like that's a competition, right? That's kind of like that. It's like, okay, this is like, it's not like cheating, but it's like it causes jealousy almost. It's like, are you choosing me or choosing them, kind of thing. But of course, it's not about that. But yes, communication is a huge part. Yeah. But I'm learning that, I noticed my tendency the other day. Every time I had a conflict, I had to, I tend to, I was thinking that, oh, okay, this is it. Or like, 0 or 100. I gotta make a choice. But it's not about that. We are communicating, so we understand each other better. And let's just forget. Let's remember to celebrate little wins throughout this process, because we are all learning. I also strongly believe that maybe in a few years everyone will be psychic. Everyone will be communicating without using words. So trusting the process, but also have strong boundaries. And as we raise our self-worth and self-love, we gotta expand our boundaries, right? This is what we're doing. And the people around you need to respect the boundaries, but I'm also, there's some resistance, and I know that. So we're just all working. Yeah, exactly. Whenever I show new maneuvers, they go, oh no, it hurts or it feels weird and dizzy. We all did at the beginning. No, it's so fun. Yeah. Thank you for, sharing all those things, because it changes over time, right? It just, people are either so receptive or completely not. And there's a lot of curious ones. But I think is the more you do it, you build your belief system, and you started to believe, so that people can't really say anything about it. And also, I think it's when you start something new, people around you don't necessarily support right away, but the people outside of your circle, like you guys, Brandon, Michelle, and all the people were watching and commenting. And even if you're not commenting, you're here. Jessa. Um, it's kind of like outside of the people started to pay attention, listen, so that people who used to be close to you or close to you had to just like, oh wow, what is Ikue doing? Let's start pay attention. So I think that's probably the case, right? Like you kind of just outside, the people who are close to you get that validation from the outside, and then they are looking at me. So it's like, okay, maybe what Ikue is doing and not so cuckoo. Oh, it's not obsession. It's being passionate about your growth. Yeah, human garage, you're automatically real. Thank you, Rolla Marshmallow Holistic. I love that. I really just said about communicating with our words. Yes, authenticity, authentically done predicted test. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I started to use this AI music app that helped me make music. I come up with my own lyrics and then let the AI app make music. And it's, there are, you can make all kinds of versions. Some are good, some are not so good. And then when you hit this sweet spot that my lyrics matches that uh, melody that AI made for you, and that's when magic happens. And I listen to those affirmative, like, affirmations, positive messages that I created. And one of the things I said, authenticity is the highest frequency. And I made a song about it. Authenticity is the highest frequency. We just have to keep shining our light. It makes people sense to me. Yes. Yeah, perfect. So, um, one day at a time, right? It's okay that we are not perfect, but we are going forward. Hello, hi Asian John, Johnny Red. And I'm getting uncomfortable when I get hateful message. Not that I get that much, but like people like, we're we're like broken record. Hydrate yourself. Diamonds Matrix Earth, Arisimos, and vitamins. But then some people will say, oh, Diamonds Matrix Earth is toxic, blah blah. You know, you're right. I stopped fighting. I don't have anything to say. I stopped engaging myself with negative comment, negative self-talk, and negative talk that someone gave me. But because if you don't believe in it, it's okay. You're totally, good. Like we're all living our own reality. If you don't believe in it, that's okay. But this is what I believe, and I've been taking those things like over, I don't know, 2 years. I'm still alive. I feel happy, and I know that it's like, I'm changing. So this is how I live my life, and you gotta be strong, right? Like I'm a recovery people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser and recovering perfectionist. So there's part of me that is like, every time I'm not pleasing people or get some negative reaction, it's like part of me is like, okay, I should be pleasing people, or I should bend my beliefs, or I should be quiet. But no, those patterns, gone. Cleanse. because because we create our own reality, and it's okay that people don't understand. They're not there yet. They may not be there yet. They will never be ready yet, and that's okay. You gotta live your life, and having that boundaries. Some boundaries are expanding. Our boundaries are expanding. It's not that we shield ourselves. That's a different thing. I no longer shield myself. I feel everything and I notice things, but I do have the boundaries that I no longer associate myself with a negative self-talk and negative talk that come from others or emotion they're going through, because that's not on me. So I always show up to the world with love and kindness. And I love helping people, but I know I use my own discernment. I know when to help, I know when to talk. Maybe not all the time, but I am no longer afraid of making those mistakes and no longer afraid of having a strong boundaries for myself. Yes. Love what you said about not letting the emotion affect anymore, and or at least learning with your different style. It's all good. Yes, right? Keep shining on this liquid crystal quartz, not so crystal. This is inside of us. This is our fascia. Thank you. I should be coming to the class at the end of September. Ooh, oh, that's amazing. Do you guys, yeah, if you ever live in Vancouver, all my informations are on my link tree, and eventually I'll have a website. That's the next thing. But I will love for you guys to come to my in-person Vancouver classes. If not, then I will love to start creating more Zoom classes. I'm looking at some coaching program, like a coaching app, but I mean, just like before, like we all need to take the next logical step. Just start creating, start creating. Yeah, yeah. I do private sessions, but private sessions are more expensive because they get to have all my attention. But I think where I love to go is the group classes, because group classes are way more fun to me. Um, well, there's a good part in pros and cons to group class and private sessions, but I think there's a power in moving fascia together, in person, online, and it's all about co-creating. I love the collaboration, and I am figuring out. Yeah. So, do you guys have any plans today? Today is I have a Zoom call, and then Gisela that I'm talking about. Gisela is leaving for Vancouver, and she's actually coming to my place downtown before she leaves. And so I'm looking forward to hang out with her, getting more messages, and I don't know what comes out with. I set the intention that everything I receive is going to be beautiful, but I'm also at the same time just to surprise me. I want to just be the best version of myself and manifest and take up all the invisible cage that I put in myself and use that matrix for my advantage instead of hurting myself. So, yeah, that's the intention. We're all learning to come back to ourselves and believing being rather than believing doing. So I show up, that's an action part, but I do those actions, make sure every action that you take is supported by your heart and supported by the belief system that I am enough. I know I can do it, and I am meant to do something that is, give a huge impact to the whole world. And what I do is powerful. And if I just shine my own light, bright like a diamond, and then and that's when I get to be enjoy who I really am. So we're all learning. We're all learning. It's not about competition, like our invisible cage show me that, but it's really not about that. And that's where I really want to embody and tap into that as well. So because part of me I have a very competitive side of me, that I would say that's a Capricorn side. like to compete everything, because I feel the needs to prove myself, and that's behind all of that. Part of me don't feel enough, and part of me feel that, oh, if I'm not working hard, I'm not lovable. And that's the strong programming that I've carried since childhood. Somehow I was rewarded every time I did great, and so I created this pattern that I am maybe not lovable if I'm not successful, and that hit me hard. And I know that life happens. Sometimes I win, sometimes I don't, but I am still lovable. I am lovable, and I just need to keep on shining and let that old programming go away, fade away. I am still strong, powerful, whatever I'm going through. And so, yeah. Oh, I like to mention this. Hi, Terry. I like to mention this before I go. So, I have 4 in-person facial maneuver classes in Vancouver, which is huge. That got me really busy. But I love teaching those classes, and the new classes at the yoga studio. And those classes are very new. And I've been teaching facial maneuvers at the capoeira studio. So this one is pretty established. Like sometimes I get a lot of people, sometimes less people, but overall that energy, I feel like it's very much established. Like I feel very comfortable teaching. And I'm teaching those classes over 2 years, almost 2 years in person. And comparing these two and the people that come, very interesting. I was thinking about this yesterday. I think when you keep showing up and keep taking action on it, whether I show up to the capoeira studio or keep teaching fashion maneuvers, obviously I get good at I got good at teaching. And when I keep showing up and then taking care of that energy in the vibe. And also Instagram, I do this live Monday through Friday. I show up. I show up. I keep talking, you know. I appreciate all the people who watch, also the people who watch the recording. And that's one thing. And this Sea to Sky Wellness Club, it's new. So I'm building the class. And what I'm trying to say is when you put your mind and passion and heart into it, it takes time to build. It doesn't build a day, especially something, a bigger project. But I think every time you show up, whether that's a cell phone, that's an Instagram live, or that's space, I think space also have consciousness. Our house also has a consciousness. You just have to keep building that, keep almost like keep programming the vibe that you want to create in the space, whether that's a capoeira studio, whether that's the Instagram through my cell phone, and whether that's a yoga studio that I'm creating. So if that, if your project is new, your space that you take action in, getting used to your energy and expectation that I have. So it's about co-creation with your space, co-creation with my cell phone, co-creation with the capoeira studio. And the more you do it, the space would protect that vibe for me. And that's new, you know. This house, this apartment has a consciousness. I need to start acknowledging that every time I do the live, every time I do fashion maneuvers in this space, in this yoga studio, in this capoeira space, I probably shifting something every time I do that action. So doing fashion maneuvers is one thing, whether that I do it at home or online facing the camera or at the studio in person, that's just one thing. But there's something about doing this action in the space that you're in consistently. So every time you do that action, you shift something in me, shift something in the space, and you keep doing that so that that space itself it gets elevated more, and protect what we do, So thank you, cell phone. thank you, EMF. So I think that's really true. So really start acknowledging this co-creation, collaboration, power of collaboration, thanking all these things that we see. Thank you for this space. Thank you for the people collaborating with me. We're literally co-creating. Yeah, you're brilliant. You are brilliant for relating to that. I heard, I had this artist friend. He makes music. I remember what he told me the other day. Music has consciousness. And when he makes music, when you first hear some music, and it's like, okay, you got this vibe. And then the more you listen to it, it's kind of like you're digesting that vibration every time you listen. So every time, the more people or the many times that you listen to the same music, the music shift every time. And it's just like every time you listen, it makes sense. It makes sense more. It makes sense more. And I definitely understand that aspect. You know, when I teach dance and when I set up the competition routines for my dance students, when I make mix, right? Like it's like, okay, there's a transition between a song and a song. And it's like, there's a moment, it's like, okay, this transition is smoother. And then listen one more time, listen one more time, listen like 100 times to make sure that it soothes it soothes in me, so that when somebody else listens to that transition, they will also feel that same vibe. And because I'm created that transition of that music mix, I get to conduct what kind of vibe I want people to see, I want people to feel. So that's a very powerful place to be. So let's show up with more intentions like that. Every time I dance, every time I do this Instagram live, every time I teach fascia maneuvers, every time I show up to the capoeira studio and do my thing at the yoga studio, I'm co-creating this modality with that help of the space, time, all dimension. Work with me. In order to do that, we need to establish a healthy connection with everything that we interact with. So maybe with our partner, same thing. Work with me. How can I work with you with more in a harmonious, joyful, expansive way? Work with me. I am here to work with you, but I show up with this intention, and that intention is expanding, and the boundaries that I have is expanding. As I'm expanding, as I'm learning, how can we interact in a better way, more elevated way, right? Because we are increasing, raising our self-love in this Leo season especially. So yeah, expansion. How can we work? Flow. That's when the flow comes in. How can I work with this space? And let's just not forget about the power of repeating, doing this consistency, because every time you take action, we're shifting something in us, shifting something in them, shifting something in this algorithm of this internet, right? Whether we were aware of or not. Well, so that's why every time you listen to the music shifts something. And so all the music that, popular music, top 10, Billboard, those musics were heard so many times. So every time the music is heard, it shift. Even the fascia maneuvers, more people do fascia maneuvers, shift something in us, becomes more powerful, becomes stronger. Same thing, every time I talk, every time I show up, shift something in me, shifting something in here. So that's why we keep showing up, keep pushing forward, and keep practicing. But let's just do that with more joyful, expansive way, and don't forget to take time for ourselves, because it's all about push and pull. It's not about push. There's a time to push in. Push in, that means pull. Push and pull. So yeah, okay, I think that was beautiful. Complimenting myself. Let's keep doing what you love, and every time you take action, we're shifting something in us, and I feel better already. And yeah, let's keep learning, enjoy our ride. And thank you guys for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh. And I see you tomorrow. This live is every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. PST. Thank you guys for being here. And I joined this time to organize my thought and learning something more about myself and shifting. It was encompassing. I can't pronounce encompassing. You see, I'm learning to accept all parts of myself. My English doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about the feeling. It's all about the energy. So thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys have a great day today. It can get triggered with the energy of the day, Taurus. Every time you manifest something, that's when you feel very much vulnerable. So accept all parts of yourself. Hi Terry. Hi Denise. Hi Regalia. And hi, Kim. Thank you, Claire. Have an amazing day. You too, guys. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.